no. Oh, yes, we're here. Yes, we're here. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. And happy holidays as well to everyone watching. You know, the festive season is here, and you know, Crimbo is almost upon us. To my side here, of course, we have Lady G, looking lovely in, is that fuchsia? Would I call that?
Let's call it fuchsia. It's gorgeous.
I think it's fuchsia. Fuchsia. Yeah, fuchsia. And of course we have Lena, Dr. Lena, down under, joining us here from the future. So the questions are in. Yeah, the questions are in. Yeah. And there is actually a bit of intensity today. And I think, let me see, where are we starting off? Yes. So first of all, yes, happy holidays, everyone. I hope everyone is having a nice time and getting ready for Christmas, especially now that there isn't going to be a government shutdown. So I'm sure that's going to come up as a topic of conversation and all of those things. But
I'll just say I'm jealous of those people who culturally don't have to do the Christmas buzz. You know, there's often so much tension around it. And in Australia, it's so stupid. We're in midsummer, like it's 40 degrees, and we go through this pantomime of hot turkeys and cranberry sauce. And we usually end up at the beach in the Australian tradition.
I always forget. It's the middle of summer. It's the middle of summer for you guys.
I know.
Southern hemisphere.
And I remember as kids, we'd be sitting there in our bathing suits, sweating, going, "Can we go to the beach now?"
Yeah. And do you do the big turkey dinner with all the trimmings and everything? Do you still kind of?
I don't, but I eat it. You know, like other people do it. I make the rum punch. It's a Jamaican rum punch recipe from back in the day. So that's my trademark. I think if I've got to do this, lugga.
Right. Yeah, that's probably the best way. Yes, it is that time of year. But many of you will know, sadly, and we do have a couple of questions on it. And of course, I think we have to read on it, and it's very you know, it's quite difficult. So, is everyone aware, sadly, of that guy driving into those people at the Christmas market in Germany? Yeah. So we're gonna talk about that, and this is really quite an unusual case. And I started to research it a little bit before the show, just to make sure that I had my ducks in a row on this story. And there's quite an unusual twist here. So we do have a question on it, a couple of questions on it. But first, I'm going to read for you, just to give a background and a bit of context to this story, because it is a little bit strange. I've highlighted bits, and I'll try and be as quick as I can, and then we'll take the questions that have come in. So this is from French 24 News. This is where I got this story here. And of course, it's been all over the world. So it says, suspect behind, this is where I'm reading off here. Yeah, all of this on the back. It says, suspect behind German Christmas market attack is Islamophobic. They're saying, authorities say, but there's more. The Saudi man suspected behind the deadly car attack on Christmas market in Germany is believed to be Islamophobic. So he's originally from Saudi. Yeah, the Interior Minister said Saturday the 50-year-old doctor, so he's a doctor, now under arrest, said German authorities had not done enough to fight the Islamism of Europe.
Wow, that's a twist.
Right, yeah. And had also voiced support for the far-right and anti-immigrant Alternative for Germany party, which is known as the ADF, yeah, Alternative for Deutschland. So already, do you see there's something quite unusual going on here?
Yeah.
And it goes on to say, Germany on Sunday was still in shock and struggling to understand the suspect behind the attack in the city of Magdeburg, I hope I said that right, identified by local media as 50-year-old Talib a psychiatry and psychotherapy specialist. Authorities said he'd been living in Germany for 2 decades, and he was arrested on site after plowing his black BMW into a Christmas market crowded with holiday shoppers on Friday evening, killing at least 5 people and wounding about 200 others. Oh my God. And then I'll finish off with this little bit here. And it said prominent German terrorism expert Peter Newman posted on X that he had yet to come across a suspect in an act of mass violence with that profile. Yeah. It's extraordinary. And then Newman, the terrorist experts, wrote, he said, after 25 years in this business, he said, you think nothing could surprise you anymore. But a 50-year-old Saudi ex-Muslim who lives in East Germany, loves the ADF, and wants to punish Germany for its tolerance towards Islamists, that really wasn't on my radar. Yeah. So just to give some context, of course, I had to cut a lot out, otherwise it would just be constant talking. So let's get into the questions. Really quite extraordinary, isn't it? So Nick Mink said, sadly, Germany has had an attack at Christmas market this afternoon when she wrote the question. Sending love to all affected and hoping this doesn't escalate into more violence, as everything is pretty explosive right now. And then Manuela Orchid asks, hello, everyone. Wishing everyone a lovely Saturday. My question for today is if you see if the German election, which should be in February 2025, will it be delayed? She's asking. And then she's also worrying that things might shift to the right. And then she said, did you all read the comment as well from Musk? Musk is a big feature again tonight. Elon, that only the AfD, the right-wing party in Germany, can save our country. So apparently this is what Elon Musk has said. So he's got in there as well and is kind of encouraging the ADF. So let's read, I think we know the context of the attack, which is awful and should be completely, condemned. It's just absolutely dreadful. But let's see what the potential impact might be on the German elections in February 2025. Yeah.
And February is very soon.
It's not long. I mean, how bizarre. It's tragic and horrible, but so bizarre. And apparently he had been posting a lot of things on X, and which was very far right oriented as well. So it looks like a lot of people are being radicalized on that platform.
Yeah.
So sorry, it dampens the festive cheer. God, look at this. Cars leaping out. But it's impossible to avoid this question, particularly at this time of year. German elections. How will this affect German elections?
Oh dear, oh dear.
Will this affect the German elections?
This is really fine.
What do you have? Unusual cards?
Well, it's a complicated scenario, so
yeah. Do you feel ready, Lena, or do you need a bit more time?
I can go, yeah.
Okay.
So the first card, the Sun, which is normally a card of jubilation, optimism, and all of that, but it can be shining a light on what is going on, which in this case, the Devil card, which I think is radicalization everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether that's radicalization of any fundamentalist group and far right group. Germany was already knocking on the door of the far right before this incident. I think far right people are getting together to try and work out how to respond to this. What do you do with this? Someone injures 200 people in your name. Okay. Do you celebrate that? Do you step away from it? What do you do with that? So they're having talks in private with this hermit.
Oh, look, hermit as well.
Oh, no. Wow. Okay, all right. And of course, people are brokenhearted. With that many people, the ripple effects are massive, very sad. And people have to try and work out how to get to a better place here. So I think it'll have a big impact on the election. Yeah.
Lady G, what do you have?
Well, what I have going into it, it's about, of course, he's attempting to control the world. This is what they're doing through their writings and through the drama that this right-wing thing is doing. So the energy coming into it is about the hidden things. And the hidden things here, I wanted to find out what they are, and it's about a victory. But the key that's happening are the conversations that are taking place with it. So what's going on now is they want to see this retreated because of the difficulty and the light shining on the difficulty with it. The challenge is this messages that about the action that they're putting, and also the bridge when it comes to guess who? Trumpenstein and Musk and the things that they're doing. And because of their history, the people are going to say, no way, we remember Hitler, we remember all of our history, and we're not going down this road.
Right. Yes. Let's see. How's the camera, folks? I was just, oh no, it's kind of back now. It's something weird just happens. It starts off fine and then it goes a little bit choppy. But anyway, I'm gonna read my cards. So in terms of look, this is gonna prompt a lot of soul searching. Yeah, a lot of soul searching, a lot of reflecting, going within. I think this is also potentially even a bit of soul searching on the right, actually, to be honest, because
that's what I feel. Ironically, where do they put this?
Yeah, where do they put it? Because this is, if it had been in the way in which you would instinctively think the scenario was, yeah, you would think, okay, maybe radicalized, Islam is, blah, yada yada. You would think that. But someone who's from Saudi, who is saying that they're fighting against Islamification of Germany, then attacks a crowd using the precise way in which attacks like this, do you know, it's just quite mind-bending. So I think this is getting everyone having private conversations, and I think, like you say, Lena, people aren't really quite sure how to respond to this one, because if you can have someone who works in the Secret Service and anti-terrorism for a long time, who is perplexed by this, just imagine how perplexed everyone else is. Do you know what I mean? This really is a very unusual case, and it's going to take deep research and reflection. I think that there's inevitably there will have to be some kind of changes in the law. Yeah, some kind of changes in the law. I mean, people should be able to be free to go to Christmas markets and just basically do their shopping, eat food, do their shopping and stuff like that. But I don't know if they're going to have to be protected a bit more in some way, or some kind of legislation. The Christmas markets in Birmingham, they said they're actually taking preventative action in the UK because of what's happened in in Germany, yeah, because they don't want the same to happen. So I feel like it will have a big impact on the election, but it might be something legislation wise, something like that. However, in the middle, we do get the Star card. So this could talk maybe a little bit about rejuvenation in some way, because it is not an open shut case. It is a bit more complicated. And I think people are really going to be reflecting when they go to the polls. Let's hope that they're going to choose the higher light, shall we say, with this card. Yeah, with this card. That's what one would hope. If we look here, though, there is that sense of being embattled or feeling embattled. This could actually talk about the elections themselves. So I think it's going to be a close one, guys. I think it's going to be close between the more far right-leaning elements and the more kind of traditional, maybe more center-right or center-left. Either way, this is a really trying time, particularly at this time of year. It's just awful. It's just awful. And then I've, as my outcome card, I get the 2 of Cups as well. So again, this is talking about partnerships, making deals, etc. So I think in terms of the politics here on this is very complicated. I do think as well the right are going to have to, modulate their message. And apparently quite a little far right, more kind of to the right charity has already disowned this attack, apparently. And they're saying, look, not on our watch, not in our name. So could this be that maybe the more right elements might be joining more of the center in a coalition, passing some kind of legislation or something like that to maybe prevent these attacks in the future? But it's not your typical scenario, is it? I think it's tricky. I think it's tricky.
And what you're dealing with too, if he's a Saudi and anti the Islamification of Germany, there's an element of self-loathing in there, which is never good for anyone's profile. Yeah.
It's very unusual. And apparently he's helped Saudi women escape oppression in Saudi Arabia. It's very, very, very strange. And he's a psychologist as well. And but clearly he needs to put himself on the shrink's chair, isn't it? Really not right at all. But yes, so sorry about the that darker story, but people.
And if I remember right, it happened last Christmas too in Germany. Can anyone in the comments let us know? Same thing, just mowing down people in a Christmas market. I'm sure it happened last year.
Yeah, I think it was last year. Oh, okay. So are we ready to move on, ladies? Anything to add to that? All right, no problem.
Please.
All right, this one is coming from Nick Minks, and this might make you chuckle, Lena, because I think you'll know this character. He was not so well known in the States, but he's very well known in Britain. Yeah, so Nick Minks asks and says, the Lord of Darkness, Peter Mandelson. Yeah, so for those that don't know, he is a British politician who was sacked twice for immense scandals. Anyway, and he got the moniker Lord of Darkness in the UK for being very, very charming but ruthless behind the scenes. Anyway, so she says the Lord of Darkness, Mandelson, has been rolled out as the US ambassador, which has gone down like a lead balloon, she says. Yeah. How's this going to work, as he certainly isn't top of Duck Larange's ideal candidates? Yeah, so how is this going to go? And just to give a little bit of context, according to Reuters, I checked this on Reuters, he is the first political appointee as envoy to the US in almost 50 years. So this is a very unusual case. And his priorities apparently are for keeping aid for Ukraine, but also avoiding tariffs, Trump's potential tariffs. And he's had 2 ministerial sackings, like I said, and he also wants to have closer ties with China, but was opposed to Brexit. So they're saying this might be an issue, particularly as a certain Nigel Farage is, friends with Duck L'Orange. So how's this going to work is basically the question. How is this going to work? Mandelson as envoy to USA.
Is he going to have any influence on?
Indeed. Actually, I can't see the. Let's go to the comments. There we go.
Mandelson.
Okay, so I just have to click on here just to clarify a point. So someone, well, let's see if it's going to click up and click off. So Christine was saying, I was caught up in the traumas we're dealing here in the US. I was unaware of the attack in the UK. It's not in the UK, it's in Germany. Yeah, Germany. All right. But yes, there's been an awful lot on America's plate as well.
Okay, I can go if you want.
Go for it.
All right. Well, things are happening quickly, not just for Mandelson, but for everyone. We're in this compressed, accelerated timeline, right? So this, along with everything else, is moving. He gets the card of the false knight. We should not be surprised. And he's a complicated guy because he's the sort of guy you agree with on one issue and you hate on the other. And, he's not just one thing. So I thought maybe that'll work with the mercurial nature of Musk and Trump, President-elect Musk. So this is him with the Hierophant coming in saying, well, we're Brits after all, we know how these things work. So I've come to bestow wisdom on you, is the advice, which Americans and in fact everyone hates, right? So he then gets the Devil card followed by the Hermit. So wow. I don't think he's going to have, big. I think he is going to ally himself with them publicly with the worst of what they offer, right? Far from being a voice of reason on tariffs or anything else. No, he's going to go to the dark side, at least in secret, or he's promising Trump and Musk that in private, but not delivering. Right. You know what I mean? He's playing a double game. Let's put it that way.
Wow. Which would be vintage Mandelson, wouldn't it? Wow.
Wouldn't it? He's the master of the forked tongue. Lady G, I'm always interested in your readings on these people.
Yeah. What are you getting, Lady G? What do you have?
Well, underneath of it all, it's about his thing with the White House and readings about what they're building. Okay. But we have a bit of the moon, the craziness when it comes to a bridge for them. And above it, we have moving forward, it's going to be eating away at a few things. So the energy coming into it is a struggle. When it comes to being friends, it's going to be a big labyrinth of big round robin with them.
Wow.
So what's going on now is just the whole craziness that's happening. Now, I don't know what the woman has to do with it, but something that's being written, maybe something that's being proposed. And the challenge is, of course, the government, the nonsense with the masks with it. Yeah, the masks of the government that they're doing in long term. So the things they're trying to hide behind the scenes as usual, with the outcome as what is being offered up, what he's holding to. And in some way, these are two birds of a feather when it comes to the things behind the scenes, when it comes to democracy, etc. Biden democracy, all of that. These are two birds of a feather.
You see, it's always fascinating, isn't it? I find it intriguing when, particularly when American readers read on, you know, British politicians and stuff like that. It can really just give that angle there, isn't it? It's like, wow,
it's fabulous. Yes,
very, very interesting. Yeah, thanks so much for that. What I'll do is, let me just quickly, I just need to say some thank yous. Thank you, Tobias, so much for your donation.
Pounds, bless.
Much. Oh yes, it is in pounds. I've just seen. Someone said here drone attack in Russia, high rise too. So that could be something breaking. So wow, didn't know about that. We've got here as well, Carmen is giving wanting to give a positive message. Thank you. Hello from Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. May we find peace in these times, and I think she meant to say not get pulled down by all the negativity. Yes, absolutely, I can totally understand that. Thank you, Maria. Happy holidays, Lady G, Lena, Hogarth, and all in the chat. Thank you so much. Happy holidays to you as well, everyone watching.
Look at those puppy faces.
I know, they're adorable. Look at that, they're just so cute. And there's 4 of them as well. They are gorgeous. Lovely, beautiful picture. Does anyone know about Blake Lively? So Ness question, pop culture, who will win, the Blake Lively or Justin Baldoni in terms of new? Oh, I don't know what that means.
No, sorry.
All right, never mind. Sorry on that one. I'll read my cards. Peter Mandelson, yeah. Lord of Darkness, as they describe. Anyway, my cards, in a way, they're quite straightforward. Here we are. The Lord of Darkness is what? Taking a journey, yeah, crossing the waters, literally crossing the waters. In this case, trying to make good, yeah, trying to make good, trying to have smoother waters for Britain, being sent as envoy. So here he is, literally crossing the Atlantic, yeah, going over there. However, what's the outcome of this likely to be? His obstacle is this, yeah. Oh dear, yeah. Heartbreak and disappointment, etc. He's probably not going to be welcomed very much, and I'm sure old Farage has already spoiled the broth if it even needed any more spoiling. You know, you can imagine. So the likelihood of this producing fruit doesn't seem to be great. However, Mandelson, in his experience, will persevere. Yeah, he is going to try and dig deep, because he obviously wants to quite literally strengthen the economic ties between the US and America, because of course we're always talking about the special relationship and all that stuff, which I don't think really applies when it comes to Duck L'Orange. But nonetheless, he's going to go over there and try and remind the US of the strength of these ties, etc. And of course, the lion is also one of the symbols for the UK as well, the lion and the unicorn. So I think he's going to go there and he's going to be suave and he's going to try and be charming, because this is about taming the lion. So I think this is also as well probably trying to tame more of the baser instincts of Duck L'Orange and his team as well. He's literally been sent to tame the beast. Yeah. However, when we look here, we get the 5 of Pentacles. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't think it's going to bear much economic fruit. I think it's going to fall on deaf ears. And apparently Trump's administration, well, soon to be whatever administration, has been very unflattering in terms of speech about Mandelson. So I don't think it's going to I don't think we're going to have some big sexy deal. You never know. But the outcome card here is the High Priestess. So he is not going to give up. And I think what my card is picking up on is what you've both said, ladies. He is a man of exceptional cunning, Mr. Mandelson. If there's one thing that he's not stupid. Yeah. And what is said in public, but what is said in private is quite different. So there might be some kind of show of strength, even from, on the Duck L'Orange side, and some kind of secret under the carpet written thing. Do you see? I think there's going to be a secret agreement, guys. So I don't think we can really trust what we're going to get in terms of outcome superficially. This says there is more. And Mr. Mandelson is called the Lord of Darkness for a reason.
Exactly. And in the comments, I think this could be that High Priestess card too. Brenda says, the Trump government will not tolerate him, but he's a secret weapon for the UK. Make total sense. He's smart, he'll be smooth, he'll operate. So his job is actually, doesn't it make sense?
Makes sense. Absolutely. He's not to be underestimated, Mandelson. He knows where all the dead bodies are, by the way, because he buried so many of them himself. I mean, it's just, anyway, very, very interesting. So thanks so much for that question there. Are we ready for the next? Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Let's get stuck in.
You know what? You should do a our little friend on this guy.
Of course. What, the bard?
Oh,
the bard on Mandelson. Oh my God.
Brilliant.
Yes.
Absolutely right. The bard on him.
Whose turn is it this time?
I think it's yours, Lady G.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is you, Lady G. All right. So you know the routine. Tell me where to stop. We'll get the bard's turn on Mr. Mandelson.
Stop.
Oh. Was that? Could you ask me again? Because when I stopped, it was the back page.
And stop.
All right, let's have a look. Well, it's opened on the. Oh wait, I think I've read this one before because it fell to the same part. Okay, look, just one more time, and I'll do this bit here.
Okay, and stop.
All right, there we are. Oh, this one is from Troilus and Cressida, and it says here, "Go hang yourself, you naughty, mocking uncle."
Oh, wow.
How interesting, from Troilus and Cressida. On the next page, it says, wow, I think this is even more profound. It says, his treasons will sit blushing in his face.
Oh, I love the language.
Very, very interesting.
Modern cussing, you know, has nothing on the bard.
His treasons will sit blushing in his face. But how interesting that the word treasons should come up there. And then we got that high priestess. Yeah, there's something there. It's not going to be what it seems, folks. There might be a bit of theater here, but it's not what it seems. Mandelson is, you know, very interesting. All right. So, okay, question number 3, and this is coming from M. Wallace. And they say, whether or not the election was a fraudulent win. So they say whether or not the election was a fraudulent win, it's a given now that Dr. Larange will be inaugurated. Because he insults and angers everyone who he has to deal with, will the US have any allies left by the time he's gone forever? And they go on to say Merry Christmas, everyone, and Happy Holidays. So how will Dr. Larange impact, assuming he's inaugurated, how will Dr. Larange's relationship with allies affect the presidency? Let's see.
Yeah, will he have any allies?
How will his attitude affect the presidency? How will his attitude affect the presidency? All right.
I've changed cards. I've moved to the Japaridze cards. Wait till you see these cards. I mean, physically see these cards, right?
All right.
It starts
Oh, God.
with the 5 of Wands. This is him, or them, as it is now. It appears this double act. Attacking everybody to the death. He's taking all these alliances to the death, like testing people to the end point. This is interesting visually too, the hand coming through the wall. I take this to mean, and you can be assured, that all the Western allies, anyway, are talking to each other behind the scenes, not only mocking him, but also worried about him, but they're talking to each other, is my point. You see, whispering through the wall. Wheel of Fortune, it's time. It's a karmic thing for the US, but it's also karmic for the whole world. All this lurching to the right stuff. It's like we have to live through this hell to actually come out the other side. In terms of allies, nobody likes him. If he's in it for the popularity stakes, nobody likes the Yeti, right?
Yeah.
And very quickly, he'll do his best to destroy these relationships. However, one last card, the Star card, it'll weather the storm, even though things will get ugly and bad. This is weathering the storm and coming out on the other side here.
Fascinating. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, underneath of it all, this is painful for people because, of course, we have his toxicity snaky and they just wishing he would go. Can we just end this before we even start? So the reading is about what is being juggled. And they see that this is a gamble. And that's the key with it. It's a gamble dealing with this guy. The energy coming into it is about the message of actions he's putting out. You know, they're looking at the darker consequences, conversations about who's going to be in alignment with him, who's not. How can we deal with this guy? So what's going on with it now? We have the hidden things. And it's like they're looking at what he's saying kind of through this veil, trying to figure him out, the bridges, how to deal with this guy that's trying to, again, control things. The challenge is hanging on to what you have, okay? And this new craziness that he's putting out there, of course, on a daily basis. The outcome is just kind of walking away from the White House and his insanity, his, you know, darker aspects. So they just are going to try to ignore him as much as they can.
Yes. And work around him. You know.
Yeah, talk to the hand. We're not dealing with you, okay?
Indeed.
What did you get, Hoagie?
My cards are not what you would expect.
Okay. Love that, because it makes you think as a reader.
I'm just like, I cannot believe I pulled the cards that I have. I just want to say some quick thank yous as well. So Summerland Girl, thank you.
Thanks, Summerland.
Oh yes, the other people that I've been reading up on this as well, because they're saying, why did they disappear? And it does seem to be connected with the shutting of the government, from what I could find. I checked a few news sources, but you know, I'm sure people have got different views on that as well. But that's when I was looking up online. That's what I could find. I want to say thank you as well to Christopher Guala so much for your donation. And then people responding as well to the Duck L'Orange question, and of course I'll read mine. So Roseanne is saying, I don't think the fat lady has sang to us just yet. Yeah, that's a good point. Deb says our allies are aware of the orange cockroach. Yeah.
Totally.
Let's see here. What's this one? This one here says that's President Musk about Donny Boy. Donny is so mad he did his Caps rant that he is president. Yeah, we're going to be looking into that. And then someone says here, Sylvia says, I believe Elon is blackmailing Donald J. Trump with that Epstein sold to Elon pics of, maybe. Okay, these are my cards. So the only way I can interpret these cards is that this must be the fantasies of Duck Larange.
Okay.
It's the only way I can interpret this for it to actually make sense in terms of the context of what's going on in the world, because these are just bonkers. But anyway, so if we look here, we know that my shadow interpretation of this card is the narcissist, yeah, and very often the star card shows up for Dr. Ron. So of course it's all about him, yeah, as usual, center of attention, but he's seeing himself on the world stage. Everyone look at me, lights, camera, action. So in a way, it's almost like like with what is that, Sunset Boulevard, and there's that bit where she sings like, I don't know why I'm frightened, and she's talking about coming back and being back on the stage. That's what's just come to me. This is Dr. Ron's being like, I'm back in his mind. If we look here, he gets the Chariot card, so obviously he's and do you like what I've done? You remember the boobies were always coming up. Do you like that I've put little bikini tops on them? I illustrated little bikini tops.
I've seen it all now, Hopes.
You should see the lovers card. You should see it.
I hope it comes up.
Oh, you should. If you see the lovers card,
I'd like to know where they shop. Where are they getting their underwear from?
But here they are. So here he is with the Chariot. So of course he's got.
Sorry, I can't take a sip.
Dr. Ranch is determined to charge forward, because he's back on the stage, back in the big time.
Yeah.
But as usual, whenever we read on the Republican Party, how many times does this card come up?
Forever.
6 of Cups. So of course he wants to go over his old grand hits, look after the same usual people and stuff like that. But it is this sense of nostalgia as well, because of course he's always saying what, make America great again, etc. So it's like he's going to be on that bandwagon. On that bandwagon. He does get the Ace of Cups. So whatever's going on, I think at this stage he's probably still feeling a bit euphoric, because he's like, oh my goodness. But again, I think this is also what he's going to try and present to the world, even though it's very chaotic already. But that's what he's going to try and present. And again, how many times does this card come out? The 10 of Cups, again for the GOP. So basically, I think this is going to be full, almost maniacal promotion mode from Trump, which is everything is amazing, everything is fine. But what we've seen happen in practice is the chaos and madness. So I'm hoping it's less chaos, but how could it be less chaos? Because we're talking about Duck Larange and some of these crazy characters, but he's going to try and present it in a very shiny, almost over the top, optimistic kind of way with those kind of cards. Anything to add to that, ladies, apart from the bikini tops that I've illustrated there?
No. And thank you to those who have donated. Very generous.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Much appreciated. Oh gosh, there's more. Good heavens. 1 minute. I need to. Sorry, Harriet. Thank you so much. Goddess Val. Thank you so much.
Great.
And Mariana. Thank you so much. My goodness, very generous donations. Thank you guys. Much appreciated. Are we ready for the next question?
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right. So, okay. So that was quite eventful, that question, wasn't it? Question number 4. Here we are. Tesla. Yeah. Tesla recall. Yeah. So, the magical mermaid says, "Hello, Hogarth. Tesla has just announced a 700,000 vehicle recall over tire pressure failure. Yeah, is this legitimate, or is this the eel?" She's saying, "trying to obscure finances and profits and losses." But may I just add a caveat to that, just to give a little bit more detail, because I researched the story, because I was like, So apparently what is with the Teslas is that the warning light on the tire pressure monitoring system isn't working, with these models. So the lights may not remain on in between drive cycles, and thus a failure to warn the drivers that if the tire pressure is off, which could lead to a blowout. But they say it's going to be resolved via a free software update. So, and then the models it applies to is Model 3, Model Y, and Cybertruck. And I think this is very interesting, isn't it? Just in terms of this business, this cars, because we've also had the crashes, over 150, I think about 150 crashes have been caused by Teslas suddenly stopping. And they say this is probably why Elon got in with Trump in the first place, because they're going to be changing those laws where you don't have to report if it was self-driving or not. So rather than dealing with the problem, he wants to change it around. And of course, there's also been the issues with the exploding batteries as well. So I think maybe should we ask a wider question of what is the future of Tesla? Because there's so many problems.
Yes.
Which of course would impact, Elon. Or Elonia, as some are calling them, or the eel.
Yes, it's such fun.
So what's going on?
Tesla, what is going on?
I'm hoping the Lovers card comes out just so you guys can see what's done. And we've got over 1,900 of you with us right now. So thank you very much.
That is a huge number.
That's huge, Happy holidays, everyone. Thank you as well for all of the love and the support for the channel. And please don't forget as well to like and subscribe and share, etc. And if you'd like to like and subscribe to the ladies as well, they'll be in the video description after the show. Tesla.
Wow.
I have a feeling it might be because China has now become the biggest producer of EVs now. Do you know that? China.
I predicted that 7 years ago. Okay, I'm just saying.
Yeah. And
I said several times, China will make a cheaper, more reliable electric vehicle.
I don't know about it reliable, because their electric vehicles over there are going up in flames.
Well, no, that's a good point, because there's a problem with, there's many problems with electric vehicles, not the least of which the people who buy them would say, I'm doing it for eco reasons, right?
Yeah.
But it's not questioning where the electricity is coming from.
This
is the problem.
Yeah.
The ferries don't make it. It's fossil fuel driven, but it's cutting out this other side.
Yeah.
But it has improved air quality a lot, apparently, because it's plummeting. And they say China is making the bet. So, obviously, look, there were some cut corners, but when it comes to the high end and luxury, apparently China, they become number one, basically, because state sponsored.
And we've got to remember too, just before we get into this, that the two guys who designed Tesla are actually suing Musk, because he went around the world, my Tesla, my Tesla. One is the designer and the other one producer. No, it wasn't even his idea. It wasn't his drawings. It's not his technical prowess. And they are uncomfortable with all these accidents because he rushed off with it before it was properly sorted out.
Wow. Which is probably why they've got so many problems, and they recalls 700,000 cars recalled. Wow.
That's a lot of cars to take back, and a lot of people who haven't got a vehicle if they take them back.
Indeed. So Lena, you ready to go?
Yes. So the actual cards I sort of generally ask what's going on with Tesla, right? You know, it's a bit rushed with this fool's gold here. There's this feeling of a bit premature, okay, because his eye was on the money, on the sales before the product was actually safe. He's looking at legal issues over this, which is why he wants to come to power and try and throw a bucket of cold water over them. But legal issues are pending. Now, who is strategizing? At first, I thought this was the muskrat, but now I'm beginning to think it might be Tesla owners who feel they've been sold lemons.
Wow.
Right? And they're really unhappy. And so for those learning tarot, usually the Ace of Cups is overflowing joy, but it can also be tears.
Yeah.
And I think it's back to the drawing board, or should be. I don't think it will be, but should be back to the drawing. It's got some fundamental flaws.
Wow. Wow. Fascinating. Lady G, what do you have?
Well, underneath of it all, when it comes to the vehicles, they're toxic, and we have well-wishing. He's going to have to really dig deep when it comes to these, because the readings about what's happening rapidly coming down, tick-tock, about the direction that it's going. So the energy coming into it, people are just, going, kind of backing off of it now. When it comes to the community, because there are just too many difficulties with it, too many problems. So what's going on with him now? The harvest that he thought he was going to get is being eaten away. Okay, so he's not doing well with the money coming in. The challenge is the wheels turning. And when it comes to the friends, the people buying it, that's being cut now. So it's not going well with the outcome, the message about the action. Again, too many problems, obstacles, and that's ending for him. So it's not looking good for Tesla.
Wow, fascinating. And I'll just do a quick click up here because to answer the question. So Summerline Girl says, I'm subscribed, but how do I become a member? You guys' favorite Saturday show. Thank you. So if you click on my profile picture anywhere on your YouTube, and then you will be taken to my page, and you can click on membership there, and you can join there. So thank you so much. This is really interesting. The cards that I've got, I think, are representing Elon's frame of mind right now. And when you see my cards, you'll see what I mean. The Hierophant comes out because we were asking about Tesla, but it seems like old Elon is more focused on the government, trying to lord it over everyone. As the pontiff, because this card is a card of government, and it's also about it can talk about the the rules, regulations, etc., and stuff like that. But there can be an arrogant side to this card, which is because it is the pontiff and pontificating over others. It's like he didn't like the paper, and he went on to X and gave his papal decree and was like, I excommunicate this agreement. Effectively, that's what he did.
Yes.
You like the pun there? Excommunicate. It just came to me now. So he literally tried to excommunicate that and shut down the government, and he pretty much succeeded, save for the last minute deal. So really it shows, I think his focus is actually much more on government power, his own personal power, rather than Tesla the business. If we look here, he gets the 5 of Cups. 3 are down, but 2 are standing. So I have a feeling that he knows that there's issues. He knows that that there are issues. The cars are having problems, causing crashes, battery failures, and now of course this kind of recall. But there's still 2 there. So will it potentially collapse overnight? I'm not sure, but it's not looking good. And there's more down than up. But the next card for me, now, whenever I get this card, the Four of Swords, it always talks about the ending of a career or something. This is about being wounded on the battlefield. So for the long-term prospects for Tesla, it may not be so good. It may not be so good. And I think my clients that have Teslas, some of them have put the sticker on saying, I bought this Tesla before I knew that Elon was crazy.
Yeah,
a lot of them have
love that.
But I've been told that they are money pits. I've been told that these cars are very expensive. And could it be that maybe people are finally tiring of this? Could this be the future prospects for Tesla, you know, which aren't looking that great? Yeah. However, Elon is still going to be rearing up, you know, trying to do his thing, because he just ignores the problem. So he's like, you know, I still need to get to Mars. Yeah. If we look here, this is the
exactly.
His plume here upward, so he's going to keep launching his satellites and basically trying to get to Mars and all that stuff, and basically kind of fiddling around with democracy, because this is often the card of democracy. So I think Elon's priorities are no longer with the day-to-day running of Tesla and trying to make the cars as good as possible. I think he's just going to try and get away with what's left, no matter the sadness that people feel, because this could also be people sad about their cars, because I think he's more busy attacking democracy, to be honest.
Exactly that. He's got a low boredom threshold. But what's interesting too is Trump is a gas guzzler type. He's not remote. He thinks electric cars are stupid. And Musk, who's the master of electric car land. So there's not a natural fit there.
Yeah.
But I think you've hit it on the head. He's bored now and moved on. And it's like he's run Twitter X into the ground in terms of revenue. That's where it used to make money, and advertisers left in droves. And this isn't making money either when you repair these things. That's not cheap.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, his preoccupation with government, not only the US government, but governments around the world. I think he's taking his eye off the ball. I think he's taking his eye off the ball. And you know, at the end of the day, well, not that we're going to be sorry for Elon, but I think a lot of people are moving on. Wow, there's over 2,000 of you joining us now. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. Much appreciated. Let's squeeze in one more question. So that was Elon. Let's where is it? Oh God, I've labeled them both as number 6 and I forgot to change them. You know what, this one here, I think this one is supposed to be number 5. What shall we read about? Like, so here we are. Yeah, this one from Nick Minks. Let's read on this, because we've talked about Elon. Let's have a little look at old Ducky. So Nick Minks says, Duck Orange apparently posted today about the joke of the Dems calling Elon president. Yeah, I knew this would stick in his craw. Yeah. Is he really getting irate over this, and will this anger affect his mental abilities? So basically, is he really getting up? I think he is. Let's read on it. How does Duck Orange feel about basically being Elon's poodle?
Yes, exactly.
And no insult to poodles, by the way. No insult to poodles.
Pooch.
I can say pooch.
Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. I'm probably spitting feathers. Duck Orange will be spitting feathers.
Yes, and that's right. He didn't invent anything. That's what they're saying in the comment. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe that's what people will start realizing, you know, with time. You know, maybe this is what people will start realizing, because Elon is always lauded as this genius, and I just don't see it. No. I think he's an opportunist, and I think he knows how to get certain results.
He's a venture capitalist, right? Yeah. He's a venture capitalist in the old language, and managed to get huge government grants. Elon is the big welfare queen. He is the ultimate welfare queen. 465 million just in one deal.
Yeah.
Oh, these are hilarious. Okay.
Okay, you ready to go, Lena?
Yeah. The Italian cards, the Gran Signore. So now the fight is on. Who is the Gran Signore really? In, check this out, the White House, which in this case is pink, Casa Rosada. Okay. So this is what the battle's about. But Duc L'Orange ends up with the consolation prize. He digs out with me. And that affects his health. The doctors have to be called in. And they end up as inimico, the enemies.
Wow.
Not just falling out, they end up as enemies.
Yeah, could well believe that. Could well believe that. Lady
Vulture
G, what
capitalist. That's great, Raymond. Thank you for that.
Vulture, yeah, vulture, absolutely. What do you have, Lady G?
Well, underneath of it all, we have this wanting to charge forward, take action with this toxicity, and he'd like to cut him off at the knees at this point. But the reading's about, you know, the Queen of Swords, and we know she likes to chop heads. So it's going to be some sort of storyline he's going to put in, snarky storyline, whatever he can figure out. Because the energy is wanting to get to a calmer place. The key is about moving this forward. But where he's going, he wants to see Elon as Elania, and it's all about the money. Okay, how much more can I get from this guy? Wow. The challenge is what's being birthed. Short-term luck with it, but it's got a darker conversations behind the scenes with the outcome of a democracy and looking much deeper with a fine-tooth comb and trying to anchor in some things, you know. So it's about their fight against democracy, etc. So he's just going to see how much more money he can get from this guy.
Wow.
It's between a rock and a hard place, you know. I'd like to cut him off at the knees, but then again, he's got money.
Yeah.
And Brenda says in the comments, it's like watching King Kong versus Godzilla.
Yes. Absolutely.
What were your cards, Hoagie?
I'm going to quickly dive in just because we're getting so many comments coming in. So Maggie says, not a genius. I agree. He's an opportunist, and he has, but he's not a genius. It's too high a compliment. And then someone said, Wendy says, Trump has been tweeting saying, no, I'm the president. Yeah, elect. He's pissed. Of course he is. If there's one thing that Duc L'Orange cannot stand is being upstaged and being made to look weak. He cannot stand that. Thank you, Julianne, as well for your donation, and I'll quickly get mine in. So how is Duc L'Orange feeling about this? Actually quite interesting. He's gonna look, the false knight, he has to present things in a certain way. He has to take control of the narrative again and say, look, I'm really the one in charge, and carry on with his seduction campaign. Yeah. In terms of getting rid of Elon, believe it or not, he may actually resort to some element of the law. He may actually resort to some legal something. Believe it or not, Duc L'Orange, talk about a back against the wall, yeah? Will he be having a chat with his Supreme Court friends, maybe, to do a certain something? Whatever it is, Duc L'Orange has got a bombshell waiting for Elon. He's plotting. Degrasse is plotting, yeah, absolutely plotting. And then he's obviously going to unleash whatever he can at the right time. Yeah,
Yes.
he's going to unleash what he can. Because, of course, Elon has caused chaos, absolute chaos. We need to remember this was agreed. Yeah, this deal was agreed. It was done. It was dusted. The Republicans apparently even posted it on their website. So what Elon did was total left field, no matter what Degrasse says. So he's plotting, yeah, plotting something. And of course, he wants to what? Secure his seat. Yeah. Even though, as we know, like the cards are gendered, but it doesn't always apply strictly male or female. This is Degrasse wanting to say, I am the incumbent. I am the secure one. I am that one. Yeah. Not Elon. So he's going to cook something up, guys. He's plotting. Yeah. What it is, we don't know yet, but he's plotting. Degrasse, I mean, if there's one thing that we can rely on with his narcissism, is that he doesn't like being upstaged. So he's going to cook something, and it may be legal. He may go to his legal friends or something. But look, the Doge department doesn't even exist as a department anyway. So he could always just cancel it. And I think he wants to rinse the last monies he can out, and then that's what I reckon.
Yeah.
Anyway, can you believe it, folks? The time has gone and we are way over. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. Happy holidays, everyone. I hope you have a fabulous holiday season. Well over 2,000 of you joined us live, so much appreciated. Thanks so much as well for the donations, etc. Of course, they're shared with the ladies as well, and new members, etc., and all of that stuff. Much appreciated. So we will leave it there for now, and then we're going to be back on when is it? It's going to be what, 27th, I think, isn't it? After Christmas. We'll see you after Christmas. So I'll try and end the show if I can on time. And I hope you enjoyed it. Interesting show, eh? Interesting show.
Yeah, lots of juicy topics.